Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely beyond excited for this one because today we are going to completely shatter a massive myth. We all love to believe that money, finance, and economics are uniquely human inventions, right? Like we're the only ones who understand markets. But what if I told you that you didn't actually invent money?
Seriously, I want you to ask yourself, is our financial system truly a modern human invention, or is it just ancestral hardware? Today, we're looking at some seriously mind-blowing research that proves the urge to spend, save, panic, and even protest isn't something we learned. It's something we inherited.
Okay, let's dive into this. Back in 2005, researchers at Yale University wanted to see if capuchin monkeys could understand money. So they gave them these little silver washers to use as tokens. And, well, things escalated quickly. One monkey actually grabbed an entire tray of coins, flung it into the communal cage, and literally bolted. It was the first recorded bank heist in animal history, instantly turning these monkeys into, basically, Wall Street hoarders.
Now, before the heist happened, the setup was beautifully simple. Step 1, get a token. Step 2, hand it to the researcher. Step 3, get a delicious grape in return. The Capuchinos figured this out almost instantly. They totally realized that this otherwise worthless piece of metal could act as a currency.
So let's look at exactly how these animals respond to market shocks, because I promise you, it is going to feel eerily familiar. When the researchers started messing with the prices, things got really interesting. They put Jell-O on sale, dropping the price from 1 cube to 2 cubes for a single token. The Capuchinos instantly noticed this and went on a massive buying spree. They inherently understood supply, demand, and price elasticity. I mean, they acted exactly like humans chasing a bargain on Black Friday. These monkeys quickly mirrored almost every single human market behavior. They perfectly tracked supply and demand curves and hunted for bargains, but it went way beyond just food. They started exchanging tokens for grooming favors. There's even an infamous rumor from the lab where a male allegedly handed a female a token just for her attention, and she promptly spent it on grapes. But notice one very important detail here. They copied everything we do, except they never, ever saved for the future. So why didn't they save? Well, it's what we can call an ancestral hardware bug. In the wild, there's no such thing as plenty. If you hoard a grape, it doesn't earn interest, it just rots. You have to consume it immediately to store the energy. So the next time you fail to save money and just splurge instead, don't be too hard on yourself. It is literally just a 35-million-year-old hardware glitch acting up in your brain.
All right, moving on to a slightly darker economic concept. This is really going to prepare you to understand exactly why we humans panic so much during market crashes.
The researchers set up a brilliant trap to test the monkey's rationality. Let's say you have two options. Trader A, the adder, shows you one apple slice, but half the time gives you a bonus second slice. Trader B, the taker, shows you 2 slices, but half the time takes one away before handing it to you. Now, mathematically, both traders are giving out an average of 1.5 apples. A perfectly logical creature wouldn't care either way, but the monkeys violently hated Trader B. They crowded the adder and totally avoided the taker. And this brilliantly illustrates the concept of loss aversion. Daniel Kahneman actually won a Nobel Prize for documenting this theory in humans. The idea that the pain of losing something hurts roughly twice as much as an equal gain feels good. But the monkeys proved that loss aversion isn't some human flaw caused by bad financial education. No, it is an ancient, deep-rooted primate instinct.
To really drive this point home, neuroscientists put humans in brain scanners and showed them a price that felt way too high. And guess what? The insula lights up. That is the exact same region of your brain that processes physical pain and disgust. The monkeys hated the taker for the exact same reason you panic when your stock portfolio drops into the red. Your brain literally treats financial loss like an actual physical wound.
Okay, now I want to tease one of the most famous, and honestly, most dramatic animal behavior experiments ever recorded. Let's look at the cucumber rebellion.
Researchers Sarah Brosnan and France de Waal set up a super simple fairness experiment. You've got 2 capuchin monkeys, let's call them Lance and Winter, sitting side by side doing the exact same job of handing a rock to a researcher. But they received wildly unequal pay. Monkey A gets a basic, bland cucumber slice. Monkey B gets a highly coveted, super sweet grape. Now earlier, the first monkey was perfectly happy to work for cucumbers, but that completely changes the second she sees her partner getting grapes for the exact same work.
The moment Lance the monkey realizes this wage gap, she completely loses it. She takes the cucumber, tests it against her lips, and furiously hurls it right back into the researcher's face. As Dr. Franz de Waal noted, this is basically the Wall Street protest that you see here. It's hilarious to watch, but it's also deeply profound. The monkey would literally rather have absolutely nothing than accept an unfair deal.
And it's not just capuchins. When chimpanzees play the ultimatum game, they will gladly walk away empty-handed just to punish a partner who offers them an unfair 90-10 split of food. So, the crucial point is this. Protesting inequality, demanding fair wages, and rejecting exploitation are absolutely not modern social constructs. They are hardwired survival mechanisms.
So let's zoom out for a second. We're going to shift from our primate cousins and take a look at the chaotic, brilliant economies running all across the wider animal kingdom.
Let's move to this breakdown and see how this builds our understanding that completely different species run their own, highly sophisticated financial institutions. You've got vampire bats utilizing actual credit scores, honeybees operating real-time labor markets, and ravens engaging in intense salary negotiations.
I find the bats incredibly fascinating. Vampire bats have to eat or they literally starve to death in just 2 nights, so they run a strict peer-to-peer blood loan system. If a bat finds a meal, it will regurgitate some blood to save a starving friend. But if you duck your debts when you're full and refuse to help others, the colony remembers. They will blacklist you the next time you're starving. They keep strict mental track of who owes whom. Their credit scores are quite literally written in blood.
And then you have the honeybees. Contrast the emotional, chaotic primate markets with this. Bees allocate their labor flawlessly. Scout bees perform waggle dances to signal food quality. And if a better source is found, the hive instantly adjusts its workforce. 0 inflation, 0 strikes, no loss aversion. Why? Because bees don't have individual egos or personal reputations to protect. It's a mathematically perfect market. But for the rest of us animals who do have reputations, this quote perfectly sums it up. What looks like irrationality at the level of a single transaction is rational at the level of a social career. I mean, throwing a cucumber or refusing an unfair trade seems super irrational in the moment, right? You're losing a piece of food. But long-term, you are teaching the rest of your group that you cannot be exploited. You are protecting your social standing.
And this brings us to a really powerful realization. As the researchers point out, the territory of economics existed millions of years before humans drew the first map. We didn't invent the market, we didn't invent debt or inflation or supply and demand. We simply gave names and equations to what the animals were already doing out in the wild. Which leaves us with this final question to ponder. If your deepest financial instincts, from panic selling a stock when it dips to demanding a raise when your coworker gets one, are really just 35 million-year-old hardware running in your brain, are you truly in control of your money? It is a wild thought, and I really hope this explainer has given you a whole new perspective on the coins in your pocket and the biology in your brain. Thank you so much for exploring this with me.